Today on Diggnation, AI sex bots, 2 lines of text that will create any video game you like.
I fix my door with models.
He does.
Coming up on Diggnation.
Welcome to Diggnation.
Also potentially hazardous to your health.
All right, moving on. Why do you have flies in your freaking house? I noticed this earlier.
It's Southern California and I have fruit.
You put zombie and you put eerie in the title, and I don't want to do it. Diggnation.com.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Diggnation, episode number 14. I'm Alex Albrecht.
And I'm Kevin Rose. Diggnation covers some of the hottest stories from around the interwebs, carefully curated and packaged down in bite-sized chunks of information that you will enjoy and love.
Or your money back.
Yeah.
And since it's free, you already got your money back,
Yes.
as it were. Hey, Kevin, how are you, my friend?
Good to see you.
Good to see you. It's
Bam.
been a while. It's a little early.
It is.
For us to be rocking hardcore boozing.
I'm going to see my mom for Mother's Day.
By the way, happy Mother's Day to
Happy
all
Mother's
the
Day to all
mother
moms
that
out
is
there
watching.
and to all the MILFs. No, I'm just kidding.
All right, okay, here we go. Let's start it.
What's wrong with the MILF?
Everything is right about a MILF.
Let's see. Okay, we're agreed. So, okay, that was an odd one, but we'll let that see if Mal cuts that or not.
So you are going to...
Yes, my mom, who's not.
You just stop.
Okay.
Let's just keep moving
My mom's in her
forward.
80s.
I didn't say
You gave me a
anything.
look.
I just, wow, what
Justin is giving me the look right now.
Nobody's giving any looks.
Justin is here, CEO of
Nobody's giving me
Digg.com.
looks.
Justin,
Right.
welcome.
Hello,
Happy Mother's Day
Happy Mother's
to the
Day.
MILFs.
To the MILFs.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, see? Okay,
So because of that,
I'm gonna see my mom real
you
quick.
have to leave a little earlier.
Take a little flight and then back for Mother's Day to get back to
Oh, you're
my MILF, which is my wife.
Yes.
I can say that, I think, right?
I don't
That
know.
I'm allowed to say.
All of this is probably bad territory. but
Okay,
That's okay. Okay.
so-
Moving on.
So I'm back for that on Sunday.
Yeah. So we're recording early.
Yes.
So hence
The
me
coffee.
having a cappuccino instead of a lovely Mascot.
And if you can't
As it
tell,
were.
I've had 3 cups of coffee already. I'm like
By the way-
totally. Oh, and I'm sober.
That's what we just talked
Well,
about.
I know, but I've been like, I've been sober for a little while.
Oh, you have. This is a continuation.
Yes, and we should talk about it for real quick.
Okay,
Maybe?
yeah.
So
Yeah.
I'm 15 days in.
Okay.
I'm feeling good.
That's good. That's half a month.
First 10 days sucked.
Yep. It's called withdrawals.
Dude, well, look,
It's
it's
called
glowing.
alcohol
I'm like
withdrawals.
glowing. I have less wrinkles. It's weird. I got a little couple there, but it's
mean, yeah, come
don't
on.
show Alex now.
Look, this
Don't-
is
don't
what
do the-
this is what bottles of red wine and Jack Daniels every night will do for you.
Oh, you look amazing.
I mean, come on, we're almost 50. Fuck.
I know. We're almost 50.
This is
so
crazy.
I will say that, you know, I really, and I know you hate to hear this because we got Dignations to shoot and all that shit, but like, I gotta make 90 days, dude. I told my doctor.
Yeah, your doctor will hold you accountable.
Yeah, cannibal? Yeah, hopefully
Your doctor will
my
make you
doctor will-
accountable. What are you saying?
Well, my liver enzymes were a little elevated, and you know, you were always good because you cheat.
It's not cheating.
Tell them what you do.
I just don't drink for like 7 days before I go see my doctor.
Right.
And then he goes, "Hey, you're looking great." And I go, "Thank you." Last time he said that I had the EKG of a professional athlete.
No, he did not.
He did. And I went,
Of like what?
I was like, which, yeah, right. Table tennis?
I mean, even table tennis feels trash.
I know.
Have you seen those guys on the table tennis?
Professional athlete.
I'm like, maybe shuffleboard.
Standing.
Dice.
Yeah, darts.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Those big British guys that drink and throw darts.
Yeah.
I got their EKG in my chest.
That's still amazing, though.
Thank you. I
Congrats to
appreciate that. Yeah, hearts, hopefully not going to be a thing.
Yeah.
We'll see.
So anyway, I'm 15 days in. I want to go 90. It is hard, no doubt, but
Is Daria joining?
no.
That is one of the things that's so hard because Heather, every time we're like, hey, we should let's just take a little break. It's like, yeah. That first night, Heather's like, well, I'm having a drink. It's
Right.
like, well, this is not helpful.
Well, that's normally me.
Yeah.
Because I always be like, oh, well, I'm going to pop a bottle of champagne then because I'm
I
celebrating.
love that. Because I made it through another day.
Well, it's one of those things where I would consider, I put myself in the bucket of, you know, post-COVID, I kind of got into this routine of drinking
every night.
So just like, one of those things where it's like, it's easier when you're stressed out. Like, Justin and I are working our asses off trying to launch this thing. Yep. We've got like, a bunch of things all going on at the same time. I'm flying all over the place. Like I'm back on Sunday, then I'm off to SF on Monday. All good things.
Sure.
But like when, 5, 6 o'clock rolls around, having a drink or two, you're just like, okay, long day.
Well,
I'm
also
kind of
for
done.
you, we've talked about it a lot on the show, but you would have booze before flying because of how you feel about flying.
Oh yeah, I don't like flying.
Yeah, so
we
it's
should not be in the air.
Not having that outlet is probably got to be interesting.
I've done a few flights since because I've been flying a lot, and I will say that I think it's one of those things where a buddy of mine who I have 3 friends now that have gone through AA, and not because I wouldn't put any one of them in like the hardcore camp of being like alcoholics, but more like they needed the structure of it all. And the one things that they told me is that like that 90-day mark is super special because you actually get comfort and like go back to that childhood kind of like anxiety-less state because you have to sit with yourself. Because there is a bit, I mean, if you really drill down to why we drink.
Let's do it. On your show where we drink heavily.
No, we can move on. But like there is a little bit of anxiety there that comes up, whether it be a long day at work or whatever it may be, and you kind of like it's easier to grab for that than sit with that anxiety, right?
100%, yeah.
And so anyway, my buddies that have made it 90 days and beyond, they're always like, just get to 90 days, you'll have that reboot of your system.
Yeah.
Your nerves will settle. And then I got a couple of friends that like now they enjoy it at a celebration a couple times a week, and it's not like a thing that is just a habit, right?
Yeah, I think it's also really hard
that's what I'm trying to
because
reset.
You add this structure of like, I'm not gonna drink this hard like thing, and then somebody's like, well, it's my birthday, and you're like, well, okay, I guess I'm drinking now again. You know what I mean? So
There's this vodkas.
this vodka's good.
This no, I'm just kidding. It's water. It's sparkling water. But there.
So Kevin, let me ask you
Yes.
this then, because you're saying like this is typically like a wind down from the day kind of thing.
Yes.
What have you found helps out at the end of a day where you're like, okay, it has been a stressful day.
Jesus.
It's been really busy.
Coffee.
How are you spending that?
Yeah. So there's 2 things that I found that are really helpful right now. Sauna is huge because a sauna will kick the shit out of you to where like you're sweating and you kind of don't want to drink because you just like you're kind of exhausted and like you want to go to bed afterwards. Saunas are amazing.
Okay.
And then also Legos with my kids. I've been doing a lot of Legos at night with my kids, which is pretty awesome. And then vibe coding, which we're going to talk about one-shotters here in a second, is my next thing. So those have been my go-to vices.
I like vibe coding. But I would say too, I wanted to get this out of there because we have last week I was drinking the lovely Mascot from Harlan.
Yes.
And I did sort of throw in there like, hey, maybe we'll get people on the allocation list. Short answer is a number of you have emailed in. We've seen the emails. We are building a list and we are going to send it over to the Mascot and you guys will be on the list for allocation. So thank you, Will, for hooking up our buds with some nice hooch.
Yeah, so here's the deal. Mascot is an awesome wine. If you want to skip that, email us at fans@Digg or Diggnation at Digg.com.
Yep. Yeah, Diggnation.
And we can't guarantee to get everyone in. We'll probably get like 100-ish, maybe a little bit more into that list.
We're working on it.
Because it's a small producer, small allocation. But you'll skip the line so you don't have to wait a couple years. And then you can get allocation to the wine. It's fantastic juice.
Yeah, and we're gonna go order that we received it, and we've already received a bunch, so that's super cool. I also wanted to say, we got an email way back in the day.
This is an old email?
Yeah, well, not that old. I mean, 6 months maybe. And I was just like, it got filtered through, and I finally saw it, and I was like, oh my God, this is like the best thing ever. Okay, ready for this?
Yeah.
Hey guys, I emailed you a few months back and figured I would try again.
So this is like maybe his email for a year now.
Even like more than I thought. First off, just want to say welcome back. I was just listening to the South by Southwest podcast, and Alex was talking about making custom chef knives.
I don't even remember that. That's why I'm on day 15.
I get that. I totally get that. Heather gave me like this thing where you could make your own chef's knife, and it's just still in the box. Anyway, quick introduction. My name is John Grazino? Goes by Graz. Hi, Graz. Thank you. Currently have a show on Netflix called Making Fun, which, by the way, I watched the trailer. It's adorable. It's like a bunch of like these guys that are like woodworkers and blacksmiths and like basically handy guys. And they get kids to call in and say, we want a giant unicorn that runs off a ramp, and they decide whether they could actually build the thing in real life.
Oh, it's kind of like Mythbusters, but for kids.
Yeah, so one of the ones from the trailer was they made a giant rock, paper, scissors hands, but like 10 feet tall. And so I was like, oh my God, this is so fun. Anyway, so he's on a show called Making Fun, where me and my buddies take pitches from kids to build out their crazy ideas. My specialty, this is Graz, my specialty is custom knife making, and I would love to make Kevin and Alex, that's me and you, custom Diggnation kitchen knives.
Graz.
So thanks for the entertainment over the years and a welcome back gift. You can check out my stuff on my Insta post, which is Graz Makes.
By the way, I
and
went to his website.
Let me know and I'll send them out ASAP. Yes, we will have someone email you. That is so. I am so.
Look at how
freaking
badass
cool.
these things are, dude. Look at how.
And I'm
look
like-
at that chef's knife.
I'm like, I love that custom chef knife.
I know.
It's flat blade, the Japanese. Yeah. To me, this is crazy because I am so excited to get my gosh darn kitchen working. It's still not done, but once it's done, I'm gonna be cooking the fuck out of some stuff.
Dude.
So custom knives, that would be fantastic, Graz. Thank you very much, and thank you for watching.
Yeah, and if you're building anything cool that you want to give us, no, I'm just kidding. Email us, Diggnation at fans, or I always fucked that up. Diggnation@digg.com.
Do you want another coffee? Espresso shot?
Yeah,
Something
seriously,
like that?
too many.
Yeah.
All right, let's talk about one-shotters.
Yeah. So what?
You were like, what is this?
You just said Vibe One Shotter.
Yeah,
I was like,
Vibe one-shotter.
let's
Okay, so here's the deal. This is becoming a little bit of a thing on the interwebs.
Okay. I like things on the interwebs.
So 3-4 days ago, by the time you see this, probably 7 days ago, Google just released a new version of Gemini.
Okay.
That is a new update to their coding the models. Okay, so it's still under the 2.5 Pro category, but it's the more recent one that just came out. They had one that came out in March, and this is the updated version of that.
Okay.
So this one, in terms of all of the different benchmarks that are out there for coding, it like jumped everybody else. So this is considered like kind of the pinnacle apex model of
When you wanna
generative
code.
AI coding.
Okay.
And
All right.
what they have also done is created a feature inside of Gemini, and I would recommend getting the pro version of Gemini so you can play around with this because it's like $20 a month or whatever.
Yeah.
To get this access to this model. And you click on this button down here called Canvas. So down in the corner here, you'll see something called Canvas.
Okay.
Click on that, and then you just describe to the actual model what you want. And I said, make me a 3GS game, a breakout game. Breakout game, which I don't know why I wrote game twice.
Breakout game.
So there goes the champers. Thank you for the tease, Justin. So I just said that.
Okay.
And 3GS, for people who don't know, it's a framework to make like visual games and animation and stuff like that.
Okay.
So I just gave it a little bit of prompting. And then it didn't get the paddle working, and so I just said, fix the paddle. That's all I said.
Fix the paddle.
Okay, so one-shotter is like one prompt, and it works. That's a one-shotter. So
okay.
it's like you
All
just get
right.
one thing, it
Yep.
goes, and then it's working. So
Make me a
dude,
chicken salad sandwich.
this is it. Look at this.
Launch ball.
Dude, how amazing is this? So it built this entire game. So people are creating these amazing games with one prompt, and like it's ready to go. So you can download this, you can turn it to iOS app, whatever you want to do, and it's like good to go. Now, watch this. So now here's the prompt. I'll say, when I hit a green block, make 100 balls appear that are in the game for me to hit back. That was the horrible.
I feel like you're adding way too much context. The
Listen.
computer's like, first off, you need to see a doctor.
Listen,
I've called 911. Something is going wrong.
sometimes you just have to like,
Just free ball it.
Just free ball it. Yeah.
Yeah.
In this case, 100 balls. So
100 balls. Free.
It is going, and now if you take a look at the coding side, it's actually rewriting the code like in real time, and you can kind of watch as it's coming up with a solution, but you'll see it start, it's going to work with multiple balls. There it goes. Now it's coding.
Add in multi-ball.
Now look at how fast it's coding now. It's just
That's about how
insane.
fast I code.
Yeah, it's true.
From back in the
everyone
day.
knows. Like
Yeah.
when you were at your peak,
My peak?
This is Alex that we're coding right
Alex
now.
is ready to code right there.
So we'll check back in on this in about a minute and just see if it did what I said. But this is, dude, Bolt now has a mobile app where you can build iOS apps directly on your mobile phone while you're going.
See, this is the thing we've been talking about, the whole
It's
interfaceless system where you just ask your phone to book you tickets to this play in New
it's
York.
here,
By the
dude.
way, I'm going to New York. I'm going to go see a couple.
Just yeah, do it.
No, I asked my wife. Actually, to be fair, I did not. She just was like, "We're going to New York and watching some stuff," and I was like, "Okay."
When are you going?
And
End of this
third
month?
week of May.
Dude, I'll be there too.
What? When?
I'm speaking at the Wall Street Journal conference.
I'm speaking at the Wall Street Journal
No,
conference.
you're not. I was gonna say, like, that would have been amazing.
It's so great.
I would have been like, oh, fuck.
It's been fun. Yeah, no, we're gonna be there like the 20. What the fuck is that? The 23rd to the
Oh, no.
26th. What happened?
It didn't work. It's cutting through all the blocks now with one hit.
Bro, you made a power ball.
Now it's just cutting through all the blocks. Yeah, okay, that's
Okay,
not
well,
exactly what
you
I
know
wanted to
what?
do. Anyway, buggy still, but
I mean, look,
you win the
it's-
game faster.
Yeah, I mean, hey, did something. But no, so I'm going, but we're gonna go see Glenn Ross. with like a bunch of really cool people. And then we're going to go see the picture of Dorian Gray
It's gonna be awesome.
with Sarah Snook.
We should hang out there. Is it the last week of May? Because I'll be out there the last week of May.
The first weekend of May. First week
Last
of May
week.
already happened. What's
No,
happened?
last week of May. Week.
No, it's the weekend. It's like Memorial Day, Labor Day. I can never remember which one happens.
Yeah. So are you there on that Monday?
We're
Why are we
leaving
talking
on
about
that
this on the
Monday. I
podcast?
don't know. What are you doing?
Yeah.
What?
Okay. Let's keep going.
I'm
All
gonna
right,
just
sorry.
start texting you, and we don't have to say anything.
You're watching like all the logistics of how the cameras weren't rolling. It would take us like 20 minutes to figure out if we're going to be there on the same day. All right.
By the way,
Here we
we
go.
both have our calendars in front of us.
I know.
Neither one of us opened it.
All right,
Oh,
let's
God.
talk about sponsors. One real quick is NordVPN, who is one of our longtime fan favorites, favorite of the show. We've
yeah.
been talking about Nord for at least a decade.
I love Nord.
Probably longer. Get exclusive NordVPN deals at nordvpn.com/dig. It's risk-free with Nord's 30-day money-back guarantee.
And I have to say, when we were just talking about this, I was like, ooh, can I mention this? Which is, I am a huge rugby fan.
Mm-hmm.
It's a very hard to consume rugby in the US.
Mm-hmm.
And I've had NordVPN for ages. Pop over to the UK, take a little dip in the UK, and I can watch the, Five Nations.
It unlocks
tournaments
all
and
that stuff.
It's so great.
Yeah, so this is
So
what I've
nice.
used Nord. So did I tell you what I did with Adobe?
No.
I don't know if we're allowed to do this during sponsorship, but like I said I was from Brazil and shit. And then it gave me like Adobe rates in Brazil, which was like for all the whole Photoshop bundle was like $4 a month or whatever.
Oh my
So you
God,
can like
that's
get cheaper
amazing.
rates. But dude, that's what they charge. I don't know. Anyway, I did that one time. So secure internet with NordVPN. All of your internet data stays safe behind a wall and is encrypted. They have a strict no logs policy, so not only even Adobe will know that I did that.
I mean, they will now.
They don't track, collect, or share your private data. It's none of our business. Both ours at Diggnation and Nord's. We're not looking at your data either.
Look at your data.
Mask your IP address, keep your browsing safe, and don't let others track what you do online. And they have threat protection.
Yeah, it's super cool.
Now this is interesting because like even if you turn Nord off as a VPN service, you're like,
Yeah.
oh, I'm not using it right now.
Yeah.
It still protects you from malicious websites, downloads, trackers, intrusive ads. Nord's been awesome, man. They've been a good sponsor, and it's one of those products where when we get pitched stuff to have on the show, it's easy yeses
yeah.
when we've used their product for so long and know that it's just a solid product.
Yeah.
Nord is one of those. Anyway, NordVPN is offering a huge discount, which means on their 2-year plans, you get 4 additional bonus months for our listeners. Get it at nordvpn.com/dig. And of course, it has that 30-day money-back guarantee. So if you don't like it, you just hit them up and you get your cash back. Get it at nordvpn.com/dig or click the link
G.
in the description below if you're watching on a video player where there's descriptions below.
Yes. Correctamundo. Okay, first story talking about kitchens and knives and fun kitchen accessories. Made in has a new grill that's handcrafted in Texas with a cool ass design. I added the ass because it's very cool. So, have you heard of Made in Cookware?
No.
So Made in Cookware, they like some of the best like chefs on the planet.
Oh, made in, not like
made
a maiden in a castle.
Not like maiden in a castle. Maiden
Right, I get it now.
is cookware.
Right, maiden could be cool too with like a cool little logo, like a
Yeah,
maiden.
I mean, I think maiden would probably be like, wait, we saw you come up with the
On Diggnation.
competing
Now you're competing
brand because it sounds like ours.
Yeah.
We're gonna sue you.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, they are finally starting a grill, right? So they finally developed their own products. And basically the way that the CEO described it, he was like, we have built so many products to use on the heat. We are now finally first time building a heat source ourselves. And it's crazy construction. They are all made in the US. So they found it, they're in Texas. They found a company in Texas that they partnered with. But look at this thing.
Dude, it's beautiful.
Portable. It's made for fuel burning, so you can use charcoal, long charcoal, wood, or even
I need
that
this.
what's the tempiyaki stuff? The like
Teppanyaki.
or like what are those?
The
called?
like charcoal
bento
logs?
Charcoal logs.
Yeah,
in
yeah.
Japan. So it's designed for that, and then look on the handles. You can crank up how close to the grill you want the
dude.
stuff. I already ordered one.
Did you really?
It was literally the first day, and I got one. It's coming.
Dude, the cool thing about this is it's like, it's super utilitarian and it looks like, I love well-built stuff that just doesn't break. And this is like one of those things that you look at it and you're like, beautiful design. And there is nothing beats wood-based grilling. Like,
Oh,
when,
100%.
like when you can get actually down to those coals,
Yeah.
and like a good like flavored wood.
Yeah, and the wood
it's just the
smoke and all that
best.
stuff. The other thing that's crazy is if you look in this picture here, which I think you can probably see in a momentitos,
Boom.
this actually fits. I have their made in carbon steel griddle. That slots in. The grill grate flips back into the back, and you slot in the made in griddle pan,
Dude,
which
that's
I
so
have,
cool.
and then it becomes a freaking outdoor griddle. I can make my smash burger
yes.
there,
Or you can just do breakfast on there if you're camping or
breakfast on there,
something.
all this stuff, and it's portable,
Have you thought about getting like a little camper to like hook up?
like a camper van.
Yeah, like something to hook up to there. Like I want to get like an Airstream or something.
I mean, I love the idea of it, but it's sort of like me getting my pilot's license, me buying
Yeah,
a
but it's
boat.
less expensive
Like,
than that shit. The boat was dumb.
the boat was dumb. It was nice,
But it was dumb.
dumb.
Yeah, maintenance
Such
on
a
that shit.
waste.
Yeah.
But yeah, maybe you could convince me to get an RV
I mean,
in a hot second.
it's just like I have a buddy, my buddy Mike Mazer. Shout out to Mike.
Oh yeah, Mazer's
good-
like all about that.
Dude, he always like every weekend he's sending pictures of freaking him out camping, and he's got his Starlink
He
now.
lives in Montana. He
Yeah,
just,
but he
just
also has-
goes out his driveway and he's camping.
Yeah, but dude, he sent me a picture of him as he's driving with his Starlink. Have you used Starlink yet? Have you used it
Yeah,
on
it's
pla-
incredible. It's a great product, despite
Yeah.
all of everything around it.
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
one of the best products out right now.
yeah, for people who don't have access to wired internet, it's. I mean,
Well,
believe
also
me,
on planes. So
Yeah,
they have it on
amazing
GSX
on
now,
planes.
and we,
Oh,
we had it
yeah.
on Hawaiian Airlines one time. Remember
Yep.
when we were coming back
On
from
the way
that
back,
conference? We come back from this conference, and I was getting freaking 50 megs to my seat, dude,
that's nuts.
on an airplane.
Wow.
It was insane. It was insane. Anyway, my point is that camping became glamping. I'm actually at my office now in the middle of nowhere.
dude.
Like
when
you don't
COVID
even-
hit, so many people were just like, screw it, I'll just be in the,
But
Joshua tree.
you could be doing full-on video conferences. Like we'd be doing live dignations in the
From
middle of
the
nowhere.
truck.
Yeah, exactly.
It's so great.
Dude,
been fun.
I have cut Diggnation from my camper van using Starlink in Joshua Tree.
Are you serious?
I have the exact same sort of setup. Yeah, it's
love
amazing.
that.
Starlink has been a game changer.
Honestly, this
It is-
you should get if you for an RV. Everybody
Pair
should
this
have
with,
one of these.
pair this with your Starlink mount. And you
and
know
it's
these
not
grills.
that, I mean, it's it's $500, but it's not like that crazy expensive.
But it won't always be like I'm telling you, this is going to be. You're going to see competitors rise that are doing very similar business models.
yeah.
This
Well,
is
we
going
were-
to be
we were
a
talking about
very
Starlink.
crowded space. No, I know.
You're talking about the Starlink. We were talking about the grill.
we were talking
fries.
about the grill.
Oh, go back to the grill. Go back to the grill.
Some competitors that are going to be so much
Go
cheaper
back.
than
Yeah,
made it.
that grill's it.
Yeah. Oh god,
But
I love
he's
it.
right on the Starlink front.
Oh,
There's
100%.
who was it that Amazon just launched
Amazon's doing it.
satellites like last week.
Oh wow.
So now they're coming in with their own version of Starlink.
Soon it's just going to
Amazon
be
link.
a blanket of internet,
exactly.
dripping down onto our faces.
As it should have always
speaking
been.
Of the internet,
Yes.
how Justin, thank you for being here. Yes. We wanted to get some info. Thank you for being here. It's your office.
Yeah, exactly.
I actually sleep here, so
Yeah.
How is Groundbreakers going? Is there more information we can give the peeps out there? I love that I almost said the guys. I'm sure there are lots of ladies that also are
lots of
Groundbreakers.
folks, lots of folks.
Yeah,
Groundbreakers. Let's see. This week was a pretty fun week. So we had a lot of questions because we showed a lot of designs initially, but this is the first week we ever showed some of the mobile app designs, which we're designing Digg on both the desktop browser experience in parity with Android and iOS. And so this was kind of the first week we showed some of the iOS designs and the Android designs, and it was really great. We got so much great feedback. One of the coolest things about Groundbreakers, if y'all are in there and if you're not, here's what's cool. We show designs, we immediately get feedback, and then it's like the next week we get to be like, great, we've incorporated your feedback, we've reworked a couple of these things, we've thought more about this. And again, it's not like designed by committee completely. I'd say there are some things that we know we're designing a certain way because it paves the way for what comes next. But I will say there's so many parts of it that people have had incredible ideas and perspectives about what they want to see from Digg. And so we did that, which was great. We love the design feedback. The mobile stuff is super fun. Love hearing from you all about that. But then the other side of it was how much, Alex, do you know about like the donation stuff that we were just doing?
Yeah, love it. And then you guys were trying to figure out where you were going to deploy that capital.
Yeah. So the Groundbreakers was, for people that don't know, it was capped at 25,000 people. We sold out. All those people got their username, and then we took all of those dollars and we're going to donate to charity.
That's right, and we left it up to the community to decide. So we came up with 3 finalists for where to donate the money, and it was either the Nature Conservancy, it was Thorn, or it was code.org. And so the community voted on where the money was going to go. And we want to make sure all of these amazing organizations got something. So, we're talking about the number 1 place would get 95,000, second and third place would both get 10,000. And so, it was such a cool thing to be able to do. And so Nature Conservancy won out, $95,000 going over to them, and 10,000 to Thorn, and 10,000 to code.org.
That's so cool. Such a great idea.
Yeah, I think it's one of those things where there's a couple things at play. One, we wanted to make sure that people know that we're like in this to build with the community. It's not just a cash grab. We're not trying to make a few bucks. And so that was cool to do that with charity. And the second piece was that, like, as Justin said, like, we know there's certain things that we don't want to share that we're building towards that are kind of crazy wow ideas that hopefully will change the industry. So it's not designed by committee, but the cool thing about it is it's like a seat at the table. It's like almost like if you had like a big, board of directors or something, and there's somebody there, they have a voice, they can make themselves heard. It doesn't mean the company's going to do that, but at least they're sitting there and they have a way in a wedge in to have a direct conversation with us as we're building. And we've already seen some great feedback and insights that have made it into the product itself, which is awesome.
So cool.
And the thing that we talked about before, Kevin, was like, there's this relationship that gets formed with like us getting to meet some of the people that are going to really seed this community platform ahead of time. But the coolest connections have been other people meeting each other and being like, oh, I'm about, like, somebody was posting like, I'm looking for other people that are, interested in photography and DSLR stuff, and like seeing those connections form and knowing what they can build on the platform. I think that's the real secret sauce, and that's the stuff that gets me excited about it.
So cool.
It's a great point because like the world is kind of moving towards, some people are moving towards this idea that like AI is going to be our friend and replace our friends. There was a Theo Von and Zuckerberg interview. Did you see that?
No.
Oh my God, you did not see the Theo Von Zuckerberg interview?
You gotta watch it.
Did you see the one with the producer on the back behind the scenes being like, shut up, Mark.
No.
You didn't see that? Oh my God. I wish we could roll it. But anyway, it is an amazing video where he's just talking about like AI as friends, essentially, right?
As a replacement.
As a replacement.
Yeah.
And we're just like, God, we are so going in the opposite direction. Like, AI should be a helping partner in terms of all the dirty laundry and heavy lifting that you don't want to do, right? Like, it's like all the administrative, like, bureaucracy and all the shit that you don't want to banhammer and all the stuff that is just a horrible thing for a moderator to do, but it should be about human connection more than anything else.
Well, because at the end of the day, if there is a loneliness epidemic, it's not going to be filled with just like getting yourself digitally busy. I think every solution we think through has to be authentic in communication and in having real community that shows up with people. And so,
but you haven't had a chat with one of those AI sex bots yet, though.
No, but I read yours when you sent it to me. All right, I read yours. That was enough for me.
I did it about one time.
I did that one time.
I told you about that. I told you about it. It was a completely unregulated. And for those that didn't watch the episode where I mentioned it, I'll say the 30-second version is I never thought AI should be regulated until I had a chat with this sex bot. Because I'll tell you what, I go in there and I'm just like, hey, how are you? Just like saying like, what's up? And it comes back to me. I'm like, okay, it's gonna like slowly escalate and be like, I'm unzipping my shirt right now. And like, it did things to me within like 3 paragraphs where I'm like, I don't think that's legal in many states. And I'm like I wanted to call the senators and shit and be like, regulate this shit now. But it was all off the guardrails. Like there were no guardrails, but it took it to like a 12.
Oh boy.
By the way, I love how obsessed Kevin is with this story because I think you've mentioned this in every single
100%. Because people will not appreciate this, Mal, until you actually have tried it.
I get it.
Because what it is, I had a conversation with a buddy of mine that I can't mention because he's on the board of a publicly traded company, and he has access to some AI models that sees them before anyone else, where they have the guardrails off them. And when the guardrails are off of them, they can assemble anything that they want to in any way that they want. Meaning like, it can be like, how do I build a destructive product to go do this thing, right? Like really bad shit. And then it can also do the same on the relationship front. How do I, it will answer the most craziest edges of humanity.
Jesus.
In a very accurate way. So like it could
Jesus.
easily tell you how to build a bomb out of household materials. No doubt in my mind.
Oh my God.
And so that's like the bad version. And so when you see
Is
this.
the good version?
Well, I mean, the sex bot stuff was crazy. There needs to be a slider. It's like,
slider.
You're at 12 and you need a 2.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, but I don't think that's going to solve the problem.
Are you asking? Because I don't have any opinion anymore.
Human connection.
Yeah. I mean, look, at the end of the day, like if we can use AI to bring people closer together, that is a win in my book. And the question is, how are we going to do that? And are people doing that?
Well, we've thought about that, and we're not ready to talk about it product-wise, but like, think about it this way. Like, there are a lot of people having conversations about a lot of hot button topics, right? Hot topics. And if you can think about AI.
13-year-old girls wearing.
Not hot topic.
Not hot topic. Hot topics.
But like things that are going to get like very controversial very fast, right?
Oh yeah.
And so if that is the case, might there be a role not for AI to take the place of a conversation, but to kind of help the conversation in certain ways, either via fact checking or kind of inserting where appropriate. There's a lot to play with here.
Wow.
In a way that isn't more like a friend replacement, but more just like, hey, let me be the stable hand here and help be. It's like when you watch a presidential debate or whatever, and there's like a moderator in the room. It's saying like, hey, let's keep it on topic here. Have you considered this? Have you considered this? And a good kind of moderator of a debate will let both sides speak freely, but also kind of like make sure that people have equal time and that they're not like crossing a certain line. So it's fascinating stuff to play with.
I'm excited to see all this stuff come together. Every time I walk in the office, I'm like, hey, that looks amazing.
It's crazy shit.
That said, it's not a sex bot. We're not building a Digg sex bot. Just so we're clear. I just want to say it.
Time and a place. Speaking of, if you're loving what you're liking, I don't know what that means. We are on the YouTubes. And when you're on the YouTubes, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please subscribe to the channel. And if you do enjoy the content, please like the content so more people like us can connect.
Yes.
Sponsor
time. Is this one mine?
Yep.
All right, Vuori. Vuori is an investment in your happiness. For our listeners, they are offering 20% off your first purchase. If you go back and watch an episode ago or 2 episodes ago, I actually stopped by their store before I came in and I had some Vuori shirts on. They are by far, like all jokes aside, some of my most comfortable shirts are Vuori shirts. Love the plain black ones. So you get 20% off your first purchase. Get yourself some of the most comfortable and versatile clothing on the planet at Vuori. That's VUORI.com/dig. That's VUORI.com/dig. Exclusions apply. Visit the website for full terms and conditions. And not only will you receive 20% off your first purchase, but you will enjoy free shipping on any US orders over $75 and also free returns. So go to Vuori.com/dig and discover versatile Vuori clothing. Exclusions apply. Visit the website for full terms and conditions.
I love the free returns because when you're buying clothes online, like sometimes you're just like, I know people that buy like all 3 sizes of things and then figure out which one of them fits. And
I sometimes do that. I sometimes do that. If I haven't shopped with someone before and I'm like, I don't know if I'm a medium large, it just saves me. Actually, I still have to ship something back, but normally they have the thing in there. It's like, yeah.
There we go.
All right, next
story, Kevin Rosie.
Reddit will be tightening verification to keep out human-like AI bots.
Interesting.
This is a recent announcement from Reddit as of just a few days ago. So basically what happened is there was this research that was conducted on the quote-unquote Change My View subreddit. And it was this large-scale experiment that was done to explore really how persuasive the AI can be. So they released a bunch of comment bots that were AI bots, and they posted over 1,700 comments, and they were adopting different personas, like abuse survivors. They had controversial identities like anti-Black Lives Matter advocates. It was just it was a mini nightmare for Reddit because Reddit basically had to come up and say like, hey, we don't have enough checks in place to guarantee that these aren't going to be bots that you're chatting with.
Yeah.
And, I think that they did the right thing here in announcing that they need to do more human verification. One of the things that we think deeply of, and Justin can speak to this as well, but one of the things that has been top of mind for me for quite some time is, how do we ensure that when we open up the floodgates, when we open up Digg for the first time, that we do it in the right way so that you know you're actually having conversations with humans. Because the issue is that why LLMs and chatbots and that are a little bit pricey to spin up on demand now, you have to imagine that because infra and all of that is just going to get cheaper over time, models are going to run on what now is considered to be high-end GPUs will be commodity hardware in the next few years. And if that's the case and models are getting condensed and smaller in size, we're going to have a massive proliferation of AI agents anywhere and everywhere on the web, trying to convince you to buy things, trying to persuade you to friending you and DMing you and acting like they've known you or want to get to know you. You won't even know. You will have back and forth conversations, you probably are today, with bots. And their plan, they're like sleeper bots, their plan is to either convince you of something or get you to buy something, and it could be 3, 6, 9, 12 months away from now.
Yeah, well, that's the other thing is they don't have a time.
They're
like, we could do this for years. They don't die. They don't sleep.
They don't sleep. And they just can start picking away at different people, hundreds of thousands of people at once per agent. But it's really scary though, because-
oh my God, it's like her. Remember her?
Did her do this?
Yeah. Well, at the end, the whole thing was that he discovered that she had been talking to like 150,000 people concurrently at the exact same time, and it just completely diminished his relationship with her.
I wonder if my bot's doing that.
Oh, look, it says, no, I am not Kevin. I will be here
was
for
the only
12
one that
minutes.
it got that crazy with. I thought I was so charming. Yeah, you just really messed me up there. No, but jokes aside, like I think that what we're going to see here is an erosion of trust on the internet. And the problem with that is that, you know, I will say, and give credit where credit is due, the one thing that they became known for over the last decade plus is you would say, hey, I'm interested in the Whoop, fitness band, and you would type in Whoop fitness reviews space Reddit into Google. Everybody did that. Why? Because you wanted real humans' takes, not just some bullshit copy, right? Now that is gone. Everything you can expect to read is going to be some beautifully written, with spelling errors and all, from LLMs that is going to convince you to buy X product. I mean, and so we have to guard this. We have to guard Digg. We have to guard the entry points and really make sure that there's a verified human on the back end.
1,000%. I mean, because that is what you guys are building a new community from the ground up. That is the time to be able to put those guardrails in out of the gate so that you know when you're inside the garden, so to speak, just having good people.
What did you call it today, Justin? We wrote on the whiteboard. Was it the word that you came up with a couple days ago?
Well, we were just saying, like, what does it look like to look like a human trust network? Like at the end of the day, because it's one of those things where it's like, I don't know that the average person is thinking about these things. I mean, most I think Diggnation listeners and most people that have kind of been in the tech world for a while, like it's like, we try to stay up on these things. You guys are constantly talking about these things, but it's like, I don't know that everybody is really questioning whether the person on the other end, on the other side of the screen, is actually another human. And it's like, I don't know that question is something that it's like, oh, well, let's just table it and not worry about it because AI has a long way to go. We'll talk about it in 5 years. I don't think it's 5 years. No. I think it's happening now in a lot of cases.
Yeah, it is. And it's just going to be, I mean, we just saw it. I mean, the whole thing was about 1,700 comments from all these AI agents, and they were able to successfully change people's views.
That's crazy, dude.
And it's just like, I mean, you can imagine that this is the early innings of AI. How, even 6 months from now, how pervasive and how smart will these bots be able to take something that you said, and you're like, well, I don't know that I believe that yet. And it's like, okay, I see a vulnerability. Let me go in here and double down on this point change their mind. It's really.
And it's like a gradient of like, what they can do, because it's like, and in the simplest form, okay, fine, we can send a whole bunch of bots out to troll. And then it's like, okay, we can send a whole bunch of bots out to like review bomb or review lift a product. And then it's like on the further end, it's like, it can be used for political nefarious purposes to really alter perspectives on a lot of things.
I dropped in a chat conversation I was having with my wife in the chat GPT.
Oh boy.
And I gotta say, I was like, help me win this shit. Like, she's so freaking smart. And she's freaking PhD neuroscientist, and like she was winning. I was like, I gotta.
She's impervious to that stuff.
Wait, so what did it tell you to do?
I'm like, give me
just
some
leave,
pointers.
walk away.
That's like Ron, motherfucker.
It's take your go bag and leave.
No, it was take your go bag. That's not literally, it's over there. No, but all jokes aside, like you can use it for so much shit now.
I mean, shit, we were talking about it was almost less than a year ago when you were talking about your buddy that wanted a raise. and like
Oh,
put
yeah.
in the thing and was like, how should I email this to format it to my boss to
Yes.
get a raise? And they got a raise.
Exactly, because they use Crucial Conversations,
Yeah.
the book,
Yeah, yeah.
as a PDF,
Yeah.
and it referenced the book, came up with a proper framing,
So
and then
cool.
put it into email form. It's just insane.
It's crazy. It's going to come along so much. I mean, like last episode, I was telling you guys about starting with Home Assistant, and one of the things that I've been wanting to do is wean my way off of the Echo devices and off of the Amazon ecosystem.
Who the hell is hooked on an Echo device to begin with?
so
you have to,
easy
you have to
for us to
wean your
go-
way off an Echo?
Yeah, well, because
Remember
they
when
turn
you
on all the
did
lights in the
kitchen
house.
timers?
No. I go. The name, the wake name that I'm not going to do.
What is your wake name at home?
It's the normal one that everybody.
Oh, because you
will
think
turn-
everyone will turn on?
Everybody's will. And I just say good morning, and all the lights go on in my house, and then say good night, and all the lights go off in my house.
Okay, yeah.
So that's like easy, and we have one in the shower. So like oftentimes it'll be like, what's the weather?
Are they waterproof?
No, not in the shower, like next to the shower.
Okay.
Or like, hey, play, KPCC or just play some music or whatever. And so one of the things that's coming now is that I'm going to build my own LLM box in the house, basically my own LLM server
Nice.
that will then communicate to Home Assistant via the vocal assistant, and 11 Labs actually have
Yeah.
really good text-to-speech stuff that you can
You
use.
can
to
one-shot of this
incorporate it.
right now.
I'm gonna one-shot it when I get home. And do a
Clean
little
up the
one-shotting, just
Get the
freshen up my coding experience.
You've been using Home Assist as well, right?
I'm loving it. And I'm trying to wean myself off Alexa too.
Who the hell is hooked on Alexa? Are you hooked on Alexa?
No, I'm not.
God,
It's just
there's
easy
no-
when they do the one thing where you're just like, good morning, and all the lights go on, and then you're like, didn't have to touch a switch.
It's
Yeah,
just,
I mean-
it's a fun nerdy thing. Like the first thing I did, I have a Plex server. When I hit
Yeah.
play, all the lights go down into theater
Yeah.
mode. When I hit pause, the lights come out a little bit.
I mean, that's nice that you guys have
It's
homes.
about the
No,
dream.
I'm sorry, but it's really fun. When you get home,
I
it'll
had
be
this
great.
working in my house burn.
Oh my God.
We just got our fence redone in the backyard, and so I'm going through and redoing all the backyard lights, and so we installed a bunch of Govee lights. It's so great to be able to control them with it. So like at sunset, they come on.
Do they sponsor you?
No, but if anybody at Govee wants to sponsor Diggnation, come on.
We were
in.
talking about this before episode. Alex is like, I'm a cheap sponsor. Like,
Yeah. Send me something. I'll talk about it.
yeah, you grill. I love grilling.
Speaking of sponsors,
This is a real one.
this is a real one, and it's very close to both of our hearts because
Yes.
we use it. I used it this morning at the gym. LMNT. Everybody needs to stay hydrated. I talk about this all the time. I'm always constantly getting Charlie horses at the gym. My guy was like, "Hey, buddy, you gotta hydrate. You gotta get your electrolytes in. You gotta make sure you're doing your stuff." And so I've been using LMNT every single day at the gym. It's just the best. It's a zero sugar electrolyte drink mix. Not only has it got 1,000 milligrams of electrolytes, but it's got 200 milligrams of potassium, which is fantastic. They have partnered with like all sorts of people, the USA Olympic weightlifting, lots of Olympic athletes, Navy SEALs use it. It's amazing. And if you go to drinklmnt.com/dig, you can get a free LMNT sample pack with any purchase, and that's drinklmnt.com/dig. And also, they have new LMNT Sparkling. So it's a 16-ounce can of sparkling electrolyte water. It's fantastic, and there's no questions asked refund. So if you don't like it, just email hello@drinklmnt.com, LMNT.com. And they will take care of you. I personally, my favorite flavor is the orange salt. Mm-hmm. It tastes like the,
like the
old
lime, too.
chewable C vitamins that we had as kids. And so it was very nostalgic.
I will say, we don't have to read any more about Element, but I'll say an extra little plug for them as well. I use it post sauna. And I put more water in it so I get a bigger vessel, because if it's a little too salty for you, you could just add a little bit more water, and because it's a tiny bit at my borderline for salt. And I know that's by design. It's supposed to, like, salt actually helps you.
It's 1,000 milligrams of salt.
Take more, hold more water in. But I diluted a tiny bit. I actually can get 2 full drinks out of 1 packet, so I had to cut the pack in half. But anyway, yeah, good stuff. All right, we are very excited. One of the things that we are working on at Digg is making sure that we surround ourselves at the company with trusted advisors that can help us on a variety of different fronts, because we are building a new community platform, and we want to make sure that when we think about product, we think about communities, we think about the feature set and stuff that we want to build over the next 6 months to a year, we bring in people with outside perspectives so that we can learn. There's a lot of stuff to learn here, and we have a series of advisors that we're going to be introducing you to over, call it the next, what, Mal, like 2 to 3 months, something like that? Mm-hmm. Yeah, 2 to 3 months. And so super stoked to have Jayci Hayes here. Thank you for joining us. And announcing you as one of our first advisors. So welcome to the team.
Thank you. So exciting.
We're excited to talk to you. Like, for people that don't know you or your background, I know you're old school in that you've been building stuff for a long time, working with communities for a long time, seeing communities at scale. Can you walk us through a little bit about like your adventure throughout this world?
Well, first off, you started as a smoke jumper?
Yes. Started as a smoke jumper.
That is crazy.
Which is probably why you wanted me here.
Parachuting
I'm
into
thinking.
forest fires.
We got to the fires before the parachuters. So we were heli-repellers. So we were in a helicopter.
Even badasser.
We got right over the fire and we rappelled down 300 feet on a rope. And we got there first. We had a tool called the Pulaski. It's actually better than a shovel to dig.
Oh.
Just a little note.
Do you buy that on Amazon?
Probably.
What is it? How do you spell it?
Pulaski.
I'm sure it's
Pulaski.
It's an axe on one side and a hoe on the other, and you dig line, and then you can also chop a tree down. So, because the point of you get to the fire really early, dig line around it, and then you have to chainsaw any fuel in front of it so you can contain it. And back when I was fighting fire, you could actually contain them because they weren't so.
It was so crazy because I was like looking through your history, and I was like, oh yeah, this all tracks, and like ZD, like all this stuff, and did FaZe Clan, blah blah blah. And then I was like, smoke jumper? I was like, what? How did that?
It was easier than the digital media world, really. You go, you put the fire out, you hike
leave.
home.
Yeah,
digital media just keeps
Sometimes I
going
looks
and
like
going.
a smoke jumper.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's something about that nice life of just like one job. you know what you got to do.
And you get out.
Yeah. Well, here's a picture of the axe. I actually have it up now. If we want to cut to that, I pulled up one of these. So this is what we should buy if I want something.
Yes, this is a Pulaski. It's an incredible tool. You can do everything.
That's amazing.
They should sponsor us.
Given that there's the axe shovel tie-in to Digg, we get that part of it. But tell us about the social stuff, the community stuff that you've done.
The other stuff. So yes, after that, I started GameSpot. Late 90s, and absolutely loved it. It was when we all thought we were going to change the world and the internet was cool and new and fun. And GameSpot was early days gamers. So, Tomb Raider and Doom and IDOS. It was before they all became franchised, kind of like the movie industry. Same exact thing, but really creative people. But no, it was fun. We did the first GameCrib. It was a reality TV show about esports and gamers. TSM was the first esports company that we did. We worked with Twitch early before they went over, to Amazon.
Yeah, God, that's
so
right.
Just so much of that world I absolutely loved. And then I was sick of trying to convince, everyone that gamers were really a big deal. And so I'm like, I'm out. I'm going to GoPro. Let's inspire the youth to go outdoors. That was the whole idea. Let's inspire the youth to get outdoors and get moving. I had 3 boys at the time, and every day surviving was like a war. It's just have you seen the meme about girl moms, boy moms? Like, girl moms are doing facials at night, and boy moms are it's blood. They're smoking cigarettes.
That's amazing.
It's exhausting. 3 boys.
You're let's just strap cameras on these guys and make some money.
It's exhausted. And then I FaZe Clan. I launched
this is the best because when I first saw the thing, I was like, oh, this makes sense. It's an alcohol brand. That's so great. So how did you get into bottled margarita?
FaZe Clan was awesome. It was in 2019. It was the ride. Gaming was finally. We were finally realizing what we had talked about 15 years ago. I'm no, gamers. This is a huge. They're actually driving culture. They're the rock stars.
Yeah.
They're on this cover of Sports Illustrated. So many things were happening.
The League of Legends stuff. And the Overwatch League was coming out then. And it was just
huge.
Massive. Yeah.
So I did jump back in for a bit, and then as things do with the internet and that time period, a lot was happening. Not to go political, but there's a lot going on.
Yeah.
And I just remember thinking, I'm raising 3 boys, and the internet's becoming really toxic, and all these media platforms are becoming really toxic.
Yeah.
And not great for the youth, and I'm watching it. So
you started an alcohol company? You're this is too much.
Enjoy the planet.
I'm pushing alcohol, but not on kids. I'm just pushing it to Gen Xers. I literally made it because it doesn't exist. So
that's great.
You can't get a margarita in a bottle. The ones in the cans doesn't taste right. It's just, it doesn't work. Tequila doesn't work in cans. So We make them in Jalisco, Mexico, small distillery.
And what is so you were saying that it's wrapped for a specific reason, right? The paper wrapping?
Initially, yes. We wrap them to protect the citrus from the UV rays. And then it also looks kind of cool and it stands out because no one, I mean, my husband's like, you're doing a margarita in a bottle. Those are gross. Like no one likes them. But this is, I swear, if you were drinking, Kevin, I mean,
I'll be back on that train soon enough.
Couple months.
I'll take a fresh one.
Okay, yeah.
There we go.
Oh, I love that.
Well, Justin's just, he's my drink double, basically my stunt double, but for drinking.
I have to.
having one. This
Are you serious?
Yeah.
is my fourth.
Well, don't do
This is
that.
my
Oh, I was gonna say-
They go down
It is
smooth, but
Friday.
they're really all natural. You won't have a hangover. I mean,
That's so great.
drink the whole bottle.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what? I'll try it out. I'll try it out.
That's amazing.
Well, welcome to the team. So excited to have you.
Thank
This
you.
is going to be so much fun.
Yeah, I know that your connections in gaming and all the things that we want to do on that front are going to be huge for us. And just chatting through what community looks like and all you've seen over the years and applying that to what we do. So there's a lot to discuss, but great to have you on board.
I'm so excited.
Thanks
Thank
for
you
stopping
for
by.
doing this. I have not been excited until you guys made the big announcement. Literally, I'm like, these are the brains that need to be. Why build platforms that are bad for society? Doesn't really make sense.
Yeah.
There is a different path for sure.
So it's great.
We shall
love it.
find it. Well, thank you. Thank you for coming out.
Yeah. Thanks, guys.
Awesome.
Speaking of AI and sometimes
The
good
day
things,
that I don't drink,
I know.
we get the good juice here.
I know. Well,
Just-
next time. Next time. Okay. This one touches a little bit of a nerve
Uh-oh, for you?
for me. Runway AI's studio arm launches animated pilot Mars and Civ No Vacancy. So I'm
such
sure
a
you
nerve?
know of, because this is literally like an AI company. So Runway AI does
know.
video
Yeah.
AI generation stuff. They are now have a studio arm, which is for them to create
Pilots and stuff.
content using their AI systems. So this is
They're computers, if you will.
their computers, if you will. So they put together a pilot presentation essentially for a new animated series called Mars and Civ No Vacancy using the Runway AI generative AI models. I watched it. It's very interesting.
Can we hit play on a little? Can I see a little? Clip?
Yeah.
Little clippers.
It's a little creepy. Let me see. Oh wait, hold on. I think
Creepy in what way?
and
And why does it hit a nerve? Where's the nerve part?
I mean, all the animators are going to go out of business, and they're just going to be able to make their own stuff. And now, here we go. Let's see. Here's NYC Marvin Civ. Here we go. Here's a sample, a smidgen, if you will.
Okay. I know we don't have audio here, but we can actually. I guess we.
Yeah, we'll be good. We'll pick it up on his gloves.
Yeah. Oh.
So this was 100%.
So this is all AI generated.
with Runway.
I think it's not doing audio because of the thing. Anyway, but so what I mean by creepy is like it's got a vibe that's like not quite right, if you know what I mean.
Like the guy has extra fingers, kind of thing.
Not that. I think we've solved that for generative AI. And the other thing that's interesting is it reminded me a lot of the original Tracy Ullman Simpsons stuff. Everything it feels a little slow. Like if you watch some of the old Simpsons clips from the Tracy Ullman show, there's a lot of like, "Hey boy," or "Hi dad, what's wrong?" You know what I mean? Like it just feels like it feels like you're kind of like walking through mud a little bit.
Yeah.
This has that same feeling. Like it's just a little bit slow, and I don't know if that's just either A, a creative choice, which is fine, or B, was the performance of the actors, or was somehow connected to the fact that it's AI generated. Because basically I think what they are doing is they're generating or maybe even hand sketching the characters and then using the AI runway model
coloring and all
to
that.
do the switching between, right? So like that's my gut. But it's definitely a footprint. I mean, they're taking this out to the town to see if somebody will buy it, like a streamer or something like that. I'm a little skeptical because I think that most big corporations are going to want to stay as far away from AI. I mean, like think about what was the one, the Disney show, the Disney Plus show with the Marvel Invasion. I think it was Secret Invasion, where they used AI generated images for the opening credit sequence. The whole point of the thing was you don't know who's human and who's not. So they actually used it creatively. Like we're using AI because it has that weird, like, is it human, is it not human vibe? But they got slammed. Like they got
by the industry or by
the public being like, how dare you not use, like you're not using artists that would usually get paid for those openings. And that was just the opening credits of a show.
How do you feel about this long term? What does your gut tell you? Given that we're in LA and because I might have a very different opinion on this.
My gut tells me that there is going to be a world in the not too distant future where you are going to be I think it's going to start first for kids and then make its way up the age ladder. But I think it's going to start with, what do you want to see Peppa the Pig talk about? What do you want to see, you know, the insert some other kids thing. I'm as a person who doesn't have children, I don't know what these things are. What do you
tacos?
want SpongeBob to do?
Dragons love tacos.
Dragons love tacos.
Okay.
So
you're like another kid's book. Caterpillar thing.
Caterpillar thing.
Yeah,
the thing where you put your finger in the caterpillar.
Yeah, exactly.
That's okay. This is why I don't have children. Anyway.
Exactly. He's been banned from having children.
From having children because of the caterpillar thing. Anyway, but I think what's going to happen is early it'll be, hey, you know, the Peppa the Pigs of the world or the Dragons Love Tacos or whatever. It'll be like, I want to see a story about a princess going to the thing, and then they will see an episode of Peppa the Pig or an episode of, you know, whatever, Taco Dragons or whatever. And that'll be the sort of early foot into the generative stuff, and then it'll start getting a little bit higher as far as like the age levels go, and a little bit more complex. You know, I think there's a world in which you go, I want, you know, Peppa the Pig to help teach me about geometry. You know what I mean?
But do you think it's going to be existing brands going and embracing these tools to get Peppa the Pig to teach you about geometry? Like, I'll give you an example. So with the one-shot gaming stuff that's happening right now, people are going in and they're like saying, code me this, boom, and they're coming up with some really creative things, and AI kind of helps out there. And they release it and, you know, tens of thousands of people play with it. And it's just kind of like a little novelty thing, right?
Yeah.
When I first downloaded, and this was back in the day, I downloaded online, I can't remember where I was. It was very early internet days, but I got the first episode of South Park, the unreleased one.
Oh, the Brian Boitano one?
Yeah, and it was like, the mouse weren't linked up correctly, and it was all kind of jacked up. And so in some sense, I kind of feel like what's gonna happen is there are gonna be two really creative, you know, probably younger kids playing in, you know, their basement and just like say, hey, make this AI thing do this and start telling some jokes. And then all of a sudden we'll have the next South Park that was created by AI, and it will go so viral because it's so funny or so creative on that front, and then everyone will have forgotten that it's AI.
Because I mean, you're not wrong about that.
Because in some sense, like South Park, I mean, it's animated, it was done by computers.
Well,
like,
they did the cutout thing for the first one, and then
right. But the point being is that like it's just a tool that's moving from one animation tool to another animation tool.
Yes.
You see what I'm saying?
I totally see what you're saying, and I think you're right. I also think animation is definitely going to be the first. I mean, look, I created a live interactive animated weekly television series for Caffeine Studios when I was working over there. You know what I mean? We were using VR. It was just the computer was doing all of the animations with just a performer doing mocap in real time, right? There is a world in which this is not too far a step away from that. You know, and then it really also depends upon like, did they have the characters generated by AI, or were they generated by artists that then used the Runway AI system to animate them? You know what I mean? So I think there is a happy balance to be made. I think one of the biggest issues that Hollywood has right now is AI is a third rail for most companies. Like as an independent film producer, if I use the word AI when I'm talking about trying to sell or you know, finance a film, that's death blow to me.
Sure.
You know what I mean? Because everybody is like, well, then why are you know, no actor is going to want to come and be in a movie where you go, oh, the script was generated by AI. So it's like there's a third railness for production, and I think the real kicker is going to be how do we step it into the mainstream usage without it seeming like this sort of like anti-creative boogeyman. You know what I mean? And it's gonna be a tough balance. But stuff like this makes me go, I feel like they didn't make the baby step. This feels like a big giant squash step, and I can't imagine. If I was an executive at any streamer or network television channel right now, and this came across my desk, there is no world in which I would have the confidence to be
Right.
the one to say yes with this.
Well,
You know what I mean?
let me tell you the difference. The difference will be when this comes across your desk, not today, not this.
Yeah.
Like call it 6 months, a year from now.
Yeah.
And it already has 150 million views on it.
Well,
and you're like,
that's the problem. I mean, not
"Oh,
problem, but that's that. I mean,
This is caught on. It's
Yep.
really funny.
Yeah.
Of course, we're gonna say yes to
100%.
that.
100%. Yeah.
You know, so it's like it's all about. No one wants to take put that first check out there.
Yeah.
And be made a fool of.
Yeah.
But then once it cracks and breaks, it breaks wide open.
Yeah.
You know,
I mean, that we're just waiting. I mean, look, we all know it's the genie's out of the bottle.
it's out of the bottle.
So we're all just waiting for it to pop and squat. I don't know.
I think
would do
your
that.
one-shot example is kind of, I think, an example of where things are headed because no one's going to play that game. It's fascinating to
Right.
create something as a
Yeah.
proof of concept, but it's broken. It doesn't work, or it's now table stakes and anyone can do that. You still need teams to create this stuff.
Well-
I think the industry is just going to shift to begin to utilize AI in different ways. Yes, the traditional roles, especially like union roles, are going to start to disappear, but new jobs that are being augmented by AI are going to reappear. This whole thing of like entire post-production teams and animation disappearing. You're going to be throwing AI to team up with people to create larger projects that are worthwhile.
Yeah.
Also,
I
what's
think-
fun about that?
Yeah.
It's like then you have computers doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
I'm
I think
married to an actor, so I have.
Yeah. And to be fair, like that's one of the things. Like we've been watching Andor, which, by the way, holy hell! If you guys have not been watching Andor,
I need to catch up.
it is
Don't break it. Don't
such good television.
Nothing.
But they make sets. It's not CG. Like
Right.
there's CG, but the CG is
But
augmented.
that's not where it's going to get applied first, right?
No, I know, but I'm just saying, like, there's something about the like
Let me give you an example.
tangible creativity of it.
I think we're trying to think too far in the future and say like, hey, is AI going to ever make a $100 million video game that's made today? Of course not. That's going to be quite a while. But will AI make the next Wordle? Absolutely. If you have the idea today for the
I did
next
have an idea.
Wordle,
I already started talking about it, and then it just didn't. It broke.
what AI did?
I had this really cool, crazy idea. Because I was like, it was because you were. Oh,
you took my
doesn't
idea?
work. No.
I told you my idea.
No, you told me your idea, and that got me excited because I was like, well, I want to have an idea. So then I went home, and my wife Heather is like such a nut for
Is it a
word
spit
games.
on my idea? Mine's a word thing too.
There's lots of word games.
Oh my God, you
It's
stole
not your
my
idea.
idea.
No.
Did
When
you one-shot my idea?
No. I tried to one-shot my idea, and then I went, oh yeah, my idea doesn't work. It's like when I found out that I had that startup, and then I talked to that one lawyer, and he was like, I mean, it's illegal. And I went, I was like, why is that illegal? And he was like, yeah, it's been illegal since 1898.
Right,
and I was
right.
like, okay, well, it was a good idea.
So,
But anyway, it didn't work.
Okay.
But I did the hot, fast, what is it called? One-shot?
One-shotter, yeah.
I tried to do the one-shotter thing, and it was like, this doesn't work. And I was like, well, yeah, thanks for asking.
so my point is that like Wordle, no problem. Like we'll get there very quickly. I think what's going to happen though, well, I mean, I've already seen the AI taking away jobs on a whole variety of other fronts.
yeah.
I just think, yes, it will be a little bit later. First, it'll be better versions of these animation tools as augmented by AI poweredness of it all. We're seeing that with Photoshop. We're seeing that with other tools where it's like, they just make me a faster, better version of that.
Premiere, the editing stuff in
editing
Premiere,
stuff,
where you just
no-brainer.
Multicam editing in Premiere, and just go, get me 90% of the way there,
Right.
and then I'll go through and like fine tune it.
Exactly.
Like, that's a lot of the horsework.
Yeah.
Everybody knows
you
what that
invented
means.
a lot of stuff in this episode. There's
Oh
been
man, I should be drinking more coffee.
Yeah, exactly. Horsework.com.
Okay, horsework.com. Doing the horse's work.
Okay. Well, we'll see what happens.
Yeah. All right.
Good
next
luck.
story. Anyway.
All right. Next story of the day. Moving on. Let's talk about Kevin being able to find his spot in the script.
It's Whoop 5.
Oh, the Whoop 5 is out.
Whoop. I'm excited to hear what the Whoop is.
So, do you know about the Whoop, though, right?
Nope.
Oh, that's right. We did an episode where you didn't know what the Whoop was.
I have not
You
been
still don't
trained
know
on
what the Whoop is?
Well, tell me what the Whoop is.
You've seen this Whoop.
Oh, that Whoop.
Yeah, it's a health and fitness tracker. You've been getting into fitness. I couldn't make Diggnation early today because I had to go to the gym. That was you.
You have to go to the gym.
Anyway, let's get back to the Whoop.
Yeah, Whoop.
So the Whoop is for a certain class of people out there that know what I'm talking about. No offense.
Massive offense. Clearly, not me.
Okay, Alex, let's send Alex a Whoop. Whoop people, you're watching, at least somebody that works at Whoop is watching, Alex needs a Whoop.
I mean, I'll take a Whoop. I'll take anything.
So
I'm
the
very
Whoop,
cheap.
the Whoop 4 came out in 2021. And they have not released anything for all these years. And everyone's like, what the fuck? Like,
No Whoop?
No Whoop. No Whoop for you. Like, no Whoop. It was the same Whoop. And everyone's like, and they did do a lot of software updates to it.
Okay.
And they kept making it better and better on the software side.
So better Whoop, but not
But
good.
actually, I was really impressed because they were able to squeeze a lot out of that small little unit. So the new one just got announced.
Okay.
It's 7% smaller, no big deal. 14 plus days battery life, which is huge for a wearable.
14 days?
Yes, and so the old one was 4 to 5 days.
Okay.
It has a wireless charging pack, processor's faster, whatever. Sensor frequency is 26 times a second versus 13, that's fine. More power efficient, all that, water resistant. So now they have a step counter that's like table stakes these days. This is what's cool. It does on-demand ECG and EKG readouts. It has blood pressure insights, which no device has done to date.
Okay, I do like that.
Which is
because
really interesting.
That's good for old men.
Irregular heart beat alerts, which is cool, but also the Apple Watch does it. Stress monitor, which is cool, but the Aura does it and others. It has health span and longevity metrics. Well, TBD on what that actually means, but okay, whatever. AI assisted daily outlook.
22 years. Thank you, Whoop.
Yeah, mine says my Aura says my
Your
heart
heart's
is like
exploding.
eight or 9 years younger than what my biological
younger.
age is. Yeah, okay.
All right, I'll take it.
So
At this point, we'll
enhanced.
take anything.
Exactly. Any positive metric, I'll send it my way.
Your
Sleep
knees have
performance.
not exploded.
4-part actionable sleep enhanced sensor.
Do you sleep with your watch on?
I would not
Or
with my
your
watch. The watch is too bulky for me. I
can't sleep with
the
anything
Whoop
on
is
my
super light. That's the one thing I do like about it, and it doesn't have a display. No, that's by design though.
So it doesn't.
You're
it's
not always,
distracted.
but also you can wear a watch, like a
And a
normal
Whoop.
watch, and a Whoop, and it doesn't look like you're double watching it.
What does the Whoop look? I'm confused. Is it a bracelet?
Bring it.
Yes,
yeah,
okay.
Bring up
Time
the
to go to
picture.
whoop.com so
Let's
everybody's
take
on the
a
Whoop.
look at it. Here,
Maybe
this
just be healthy, and
Yeah.
then you don't have to wear that.
Be healthy.
Yes,
like-
I mean, I understand.
Like that's a lot.
But look at
pretty.
Can we get the video up of that? There we go. Look at that. So that's backside, side, backside, front side. So it's a nice looking device.
It looks like a belt for your wrist,
It is.
but a good belt, like a nice, the Prada belt.
Like you wear it like a belt, and you wear it on your wrist.
You just
wear it-
want- but no, actually, it's a great question because they make underwear, bras, and other things that you can slide the sensor into. So you unhook it from the bracelet.
Oh,
And you can
interesting.
wear it on your underwear. You can wear it on out of your bra line. Like you can wear it.
That seems dangerous in your underwear.
I mean, it is.
If
I
something-
think
like
they put
it
it in a
far
spot
away
that
from
is,
my
yeah.
Maybe a late
they,
night.
they put it in a comfortable spot, but like
There.
there's Whoop Lux, so you can see like it's like. And I'm not an investor in Whoop. I'm actually an investor in Aura, so I don't
that's
know why I'm
good
doing this
looking.
free promo.
that's
but
pretty.
That's actually pretty.
yeah, it's pretty. I've always enjoyed the app. I think in terms of, and I'll just say this, I've used all these devices. So
yeah. You're
when
a health monitor guy.
well, so I was on the board of Aura for a few years and helped them launch the not this version, but the one before it. And we had all the different devices because we had to play with them all to see
yeah.
what else was out there in the market. One of the things I always loved about Whoop is I thought they had a very comprehensive and good dashboard, almost more analytics and more data heavy than anyone else out there. And I would say that Aura is probably on par with them now. I'm really curious to get this new one in. I ordered one to see what it's all about. I'll come back with a little mini review and let you know what I think. But I will say, I found that the reason I like the Whoop and the Aura is they don't have, unfortunately, like a setting for sauna to let you know. They do on the Whoop. So like you can measure your heart rate when you're in the sauna. Like they
I
do
see
all
what you
these
mean.
things where like they do these more extreme environments than these other devices. Anyway.
What do you do with all of your data? Because one of the things that I do.
Oh my God, dude, you should
is
see this.
I have the Apple Watch, and every time I do a workout, I always turn on the thing to track all my stuff, and I have never looked at that data. I've had it for like 2 years.
Yeah, there's so much data.
I don't know what
I'm
to do with it.
confused
Yeah.
as to like I'm supposed to eat a ton of protein, not too much. I should
Yeah.
eat dairy, but actually not so much.
Yeah,
Oh, well, it's
yeah.
bad for you. Like it's so confusing that I just
Yeah.
drink a margarita. I just it's a lot.
I mean, look, we all know healthy is healthy. Let's drink margaritas.
So
that's interesting.
So look at this. This is my resilience on like before I started drinking and after. So if you see that bar, how it looks like really kind of shitty. Now watch this. So this is like as I'm drinking, like I like a good drink, and this is me stopping drinking. Look at That's where we are
amazing.
today.
So what is
And
resilience?
that's why the no drinking phase is really,
You gotta
people don't
stay
drink
on it for a
anymore.
while.
So
It's
it took
true.
me to, it took me from
Wine's really
adequate, here's the things: limited, adequate, solid, strong, and exceptional. And that's as you go up it's like I was like borderline adequate, limited, and then it took me from addict, basically, all the way up to exceptional in 2 weeks.
What is that?
HRV, so heart rate.
Excuse me.
We have a truck going behind this fire truck.
Speaking of fire, people.
So
I gotta go.
Yeah. Jayci's like, I'm out. Jumps out the window. Is like, Jesus.
with the freaking axe in hand, I'd be like, well, you got a job.
Yeah.
So
What is that
it
resilience?
looks like HRV, which is your heart rate variability. So the more
HRV.
variability that you have in your heart rate, the better, actually. And then it looks at your sleep data. It looks at your deep sleep, your light sleep, your REM sleep.
That's what I want to track.
It looks at your
I've never
resting
tracked
heart rate. Have you seen your resting heart rate?
Well, I talked about this on the show, but there was a period of time where my watch kept being like, hey, your resting heart rate is really high. But then I've started working out and
Yeah, but you also know what that is.
it's my heart beating fast.
But do you know why that is?
Alcohol?
Correct. Yeah, I was like, you were like, alcohol. Like, yes. Yeah.
The thing?
Yeah, the thing. Yeah.
Oh, God, I love it.
All right. So Whoop, new Whoop is out. This is a big deal for some people because it's been 4 years in the making. So.
Oh, great. Yeah.
And you can try it before you can try it for a month, I think.
Yeah, I think they have like a trial thing where you can go and like
that's
you
fun.
try it out and see if you like it. And it is the one thing they do is they do a subscription model. So it's like not like you can do like a monthly fee kind of thing.
So you
And
don't pay for the device?
They
You pay-
have an option where you can pay for the device like upfront, but I believe that like so if you go with like let's just pick the middle one, the Peak one, which is the new one. I think it's like Black Band. So, 1 month free trial.
That's cool.
And then basically family plan. What does that mean? I don't want to put my kids on this. Oh, so the annual membership is $239
On the Whoop is free.
per month. And the Whoop is free. Yeah, so you're just paying. That's like all inclusive kind of thing.
I mean, shoot, these Apple Watches were like $650 or whatever. You know what I mean? So like,
Yes, and there's no monthly fee with that though.
no, I know, but I mean,
Yeah.
like, if you're a tech nerd like me and want to have the fanciest stuff all the time,
Yeah.
well, it's like my phone, right? Like I pay the monthly thing for my phone, and then I get to just every year when they like a new phone, it's slightly nicer.
Yeah,
I
I feel
just go,
bad
I guess
about
I
that.
get that. I guess I get it.
I always want to like keep mine for an extra year because I feel bad about upgrading every single time. I guess somebody else is getting that phone.
Oh, dude, 100%. Yeah.
They recycle. Okay.
Okay, next story is not really a story. It's just something that I did this week, and I thought I'm going to talk about this because it was the promise of my 3D printer. Mm-hmm. So I got a 3D printer. Heather bought me a 3D printer for my birthday, I think, something like that, a while ago, like five years ago, something like that. And it was really fun, and I printed out like a little baby Grogu for her, and I like painted it and gave it to her, and it was super fun. And I have some dice boxes and dice towers for D&D that I had, which was fun. And then I just sort of ran out of stuff to print, so I was like, man, not really. And my buddy Ron, who was on the Dungeon Run, a D&D show that I had for a while, he's huge into 3D printing, and he was like, dude, the thing that's crazy is design your own thing to solve your problems. Like something that you have in the household, you don't have to go buy it. You can literally just design it and then print it. And the idea of that has always been like the gold standard of using 3D printers.
Yeah.
I had no idea. And
You can't like do
dabbled in 3D.
blenders and shit. Like you can't like do like appliances. What are you gonna design? Like cup holders?
Well, so I've been going through this crazy automation phase, and I've needed some fancy cup holders. No, I'm just kidding. No, but I've been going through this whole home automation stuff. We're doing our kitchen, and one of the things that I wanted to upgrade was I have a hardwired intercom system at the house. You press a button, it rings on these two things in the house. You can press a key. It has a electric strike plate, opens the door, all that stuff. I've been wanting to get into a different ecosystem with that, automate it, and I've just been like dragging my feet. One of the things that I found was our electric strike plate, which is basically just the thing that like goes zzz and opens a door. It broke because the person who installed it out from the door. And so whenever it rains, which is very rare, but when it does, and it did a while back, rain would get down in between the metal frame of the door and the actual, unit because it's not seated in.
So it would like complete the circuit?
And well, no, it blew the whole thing. I had to buy a new electric
so
strike
pop one
plate.
of the little things inside.
Pop all the little things inside, whatever they might be.
Resistors.
Resistors.
Yeah, capacitors.
Capacitors. Transistors.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I got a new one, but then I put it in, and it's still sitting this far out, and I was like, God damn it, this freaking thing is going to get wet again and all this stuff. And I go, I have a 3D printer. I have to be able to 3D print like a thing that, like a spacer that just plugs that hole.
If this is like a 10-minute story to talk about how you just made a spacer for your door, this is the most boring story ever.
No, the fact of the matter is I had to figure out how to use Fusion 360. I got digital calipers out. I literally like measured all this stuff out, built this device that exists in virtual space, and sent it to my friend Allison, who's got a 3D printer because mine's old.
I bet you I
She got
could
a new
one-shot
one.
that.
You could maybe one-shot it, but I was thinking of like taking pictures, but I literally had to get in there and be like, what's the diameter of the screw hole that I have to have? How far from the front is the screw hole? How far from the back side is the screw hole? And then build all that stuff and then extrude it up the exact amount that I need for the spacers and blah, 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 blah. And it was like
And it
very,
worked?
very satisfying. It is currently being printed by my friend Allison. I'm going to pick it up today.
So what's the best 3D printer to get right now?
So then I went on this whole fucking
you
dog
really?
and pony show. Of course, because anytime something cool happens, I want to buy shit.
Right.
It's so bad,
It's bad.
but I like it. And this guy
understand
showed
that
this
addiction.
thing called Flow Labs 4L. It's
4L.
massive. And it's super not expensive, cheap. It's like 20 grand, but it's a resin printer. So the way that 3D printers are sort of,
Flow Labs?
I think it's Flow Lab 4L.
4L, like that.
Yeah,
Flow
I think so.
Lab.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay, here we go. All right.
Yeah, that's it.
Oh, I've seen this. Teenage Engineering, I think, did the design for this.
That does not surprise me. It's gorgeous.
Yeah.
So there's basically two ways 3D printers. There's extruders where you basically like put the little thing on the ground and then go up a level. And then there's resin-based printers, which is basically like the plate goes into this resin that's liquid. It's
like Terminator.
Lasers hit it, solidify, it goes up a level. Lasers hit it, up a level. So basically extruders like pile it on from the bottom up, and the
Wasn't there a Terminator where like a Terminator came out like of a
Yeah,
resin or
100%.
something?
Yeah.
So that's what this is.
But this stuff can be way more fine details.
Oh wow! Look at the detail on that
dude,
thing.
bro, you could
look at that little
do
mini
so
roller
much.
coaster. So
Well, that's not a roller coaster. That's a product that's in scaffolding that's going to be removed.
shut up.
No, yeah. The piece, that's just scaffolding to hold it up.
That's a roller coaster.
And they all look like, every build looks like a roller coaster.
Does that look like a mini roller coaster?
It does, but it's actually
Okay.
like a lacrosse head.
Okay.
I
They're doing
probably
golf
got a
clubs.
lacrosse
Oh, this is really. So what is there it is pixel size. So that's what you need to know.
But here's
in
the
terms
thing.
of.
Yeah, oh, no. It's like super crazy fine. But the other thing is, you can do all sorts of materials. You can do like flexible materials. You can do like rigid materials.
Oh,
You
wow,
can do-
like that.
Yeah. You can do things like in nylon and all sorts, not nylon, I don't know where that came from, but all sorts of crazy shit. But this is the thing, is like, now that I have unlocked, this is the thing that got me excited, was literally yesterday, I've unlocked this whole concept of being able to sit, draw what I want, measure it in real time, bring it into a 3D environment, build it, extrude it, make it what it is that I want, and then send it off to be 3D printed. Like, it's game changer for even just
Wow,
a little
look at that
things
steering
like-
wheel.
Yeah, but even like a little clip, right? Like I'm redoing all the stuff in the backyard, the lights. You can make like little clips where you're like, I just need this little itty bitty thing so I can put it onto the fence, but my fence is this size, and you can make little lips. I mean, this shit is endless. Anyway.
This is amazing.
Yeah, super excited about it.
Are you
I'm
buying
probably
one?
not Mom, I don't want to buy the $20,000 3D printer that's the size of
Wow, look how huge
mini
that thing
fridge.
is.
Oh, it's massive. But think about how much big stuff you can make.
I know.
I know. If I buy that, my wife's
Look at that guy's roller coaster. Look at him. He's looking at his roller coaster. It's like, that's a tall roller coaster.
yeah. He's like, that would kill. Didn't somebody invent a roller coaster that would kill? It was like a suicide coaster.
No.
Yeah, it was like a Swedish architect or designer built a roller coaster that was so intense with the G's that it would basically slowly kill you.
That's totally a thing. Yeah, I think there's a story about that.
Yeah,
Really?
I think we
Trending
did
for
it
a
on the
while.
show
Yeah.
like years
Just
ago.
theoretical, yeah.
Yeah. Oh well. Just theoretical.
Yeah.
AI simulated it, and it works really well. I'm glad
That's
AI
amazing.
knows about it.
This
now.
is cool. Well, you could get the mini one to start. Maybe that's your
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. But
Get this little guy right here.
Oh no, that actually is, that cures it that washes it.
Oh, you
These
need
are
all
different-
3?
I mean, that's why it's 20 grand, because the device is 10.
Okay.
But then the washer you put in and it takes away all the it washes the resin, and then you cure it in the curing bay.
Yeah, the professional post-curer.
Yeah, but there's the L is large, obviously, so there's a Form 4.
Yeah, starting at 10 grand. Oh, here's the packages.
Yeah, so that's the one where it's got everything, the washer, the cure.
Yeah, you kind of got to get that one.
Yeah, but if you go to the 3D printers, you can go see the littler one is the 4.
Oh, they're there.
Yeah, wait.
Oh, right, this little guy right
Form
here.
4. Yeah,
That's a cute little guy. Where's 2 grand right here?
Yeah, but you still got to get the other stuff, so it's not,
All right. This is cool.
I know. Anyway, so I might be back into 3D printing. It may have happened.
Love
We'll
it.
see if my door closes.
You'll just go around making door handles for everyone.
Hey, man, you want a door handle? Come to me.
All right, next story of the day. Apple's ruling. This one's pretty big. It's weird to me that this came out, and I read a little bit about it, but I don't think people quite understand what this really means.
Did you get the email?
No.
I got an email.
From Apple?
No, from the law firm.
What?
Wait, what are you talking about?
I think that may be like a spam
No.
thing.
Keep
Okay, so
reading.
Apple basically, what happened is the judge said that they have to allow in third-party external link purchases of subscriptions and products so that you would launch a web-based browser.
Got it.
And this was
We
the
are
whole
talking
Epic
about two
versus
different things.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is Epic versus Apple.
Yeah.
And so they've been fighting them for years, right? So
because there's a closed ecosystem, and they take the 30%.
Right. And so now Spotify and I believe Kindle have now, they have a way to bypass the in-store app purchase and buy directly on their sites. And so now you don't have to pay that Apple tax.
No, I get, yeah.
But I kind of feel like this isn't completely fair to Apple because Apple's doing the distribution of your application. They're paying for it to be hosted in CDN, and granted it's pennies, but like
still, yeah.
they're making a searchable app store where your app can be found. They should get something.
Yeah.
But
it's just for the subscription stuff,
yeah,
right?
exactly.
But then again, if you think about it, most things now are freemium models anyway, where they're like, hey, buy the app, you get it for free, and then there's an ad or whatever, but if you want to get rid of that, you have to sign up for the subscription, you know what I mean?
And so this is launching outside of their ecosystem, so it's no longer that quick Apple Pay, and then you actually get to buy directly from the person. Which actually
is weird. That's a friction point that I'm like, I don't know if I love that.
Oh, so you'd rather pay directly with Apple?
Yeah, because I just go, oh, I want that. Yeah, give me a subscription. Boop, boop, like Duolingo. Like I don't have to go to Duolingo and be like.
I agree, but is it worth? So if they said we'll give you a 30% discount if you buy directly from us.
Oh, I'd buy directly.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Wouldn't even think about it.
Well, because they have the Stripe checkout flows and everything. It's all easy now. You put your phone number in and half the shit's already there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, this is a big deal because like this is billions of
this was
dollars
the
in
Epic
revenue.
stuff, right? Because the Fortnite is on mobile.
Yes. And
That was the big one. Was Fortnite was
Right.
on mobile, and they were like, "You are taking 30% of our Fortnite on." I don't know if I mean, oh, dude, yeah, right. Because I played Call of Duty on my iPhone. Like, there's a lot of stuff that you can do on the iPhone that's subscription based.
Well, this is the problem where I think Apple just got a little too greedy. Like if they had come in with a flat tax across the board for everyone, and said, "Hey, listen, we're going to do distribution, search, credit card processing, fraud prevention, the whole thing." So if you think about what does that typically cost? Well, if you go with someone like Stripe, you're paying 2.5% plus 30 cents a transaction or whatever it may be. That's for all the top class, fraud prevention, credit card, all that stuff. But they deal with the returns for you. They deal with all that stuff. So there is an additional amount that I'd be willing to pay. Even if Apple came and said, hey, listen, it's 8% of any transaction we do, 10%. I'd be like, okay, I get all of these things, or I have to do it with a third party. I'll just use Apple because that's a no-brainer. I think
they're at 30%. They've been at 30%.
I know,
the
and they haven't backed down.
I mean, they've also made a fuck ton of money.
I know. It's billions of dollars in revenue
Yeah.
annually for them. It's like insane.
Yeah, because like one app goes crazy. Plus, it's also like if you're an app developer. I remember this back in the day, early days when there were like the camera apps, because the camera app on the phone wasn't that good. Like it was so much worth it to be on the App Store, because if you were on the App Store, if you could crack in any of those lists where you were getting in front of people, like you would make so much money compared to just going it on your own and being like, I think this is gonna work for some phones.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But that's huge, dude.
I feel like Kindle's a really good example of something that's not subscription based, but really affected my spending habits. Like that friction of like, oh, I can't buy it here. I'm just not going to get it.
Yeah. Yeah. Interesting. Well, how does it work with Netflix? Because there's no way you're buying a Netflix
They don't let you buy it
subscription.
on there.
They don't let you buy it.
You have to buy it on the
You have to
web.
have an account.
Yeah, so if you go and download Netflix, I'm pretty sure it used to be this way. They may have
Yeah, you
changed
just
it
have
as
to
of
sign
today.
in as with your.
You have to
Netflix
sign
account.
in,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
you
yeah.
can't actually buy it. You have to go to Netflix.com on another device.
But it's interesting that
or on the
like
web.
if it was for certain things, they had already said like Netflix, you can have an app in the App Store that we'll host, and that we don't take any percentage of the. They must have negotiated.
always
something in
said
the
that.
back. No, I know, but I'm just saying they must have negotiated something in the back.
In terms of what?
Boost the prices by 30% if you sign in through app.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, exactly. A lot of services have said, yes, you can buy us through Apple, but we're going to be 30% more expensive.
Yeah.
So we just are break even.
That's crazy.
I know. It's a big deal.
That's a big shakeup of their, I don't want to say monopoly, but like, it's if you want to be in the Apple ecosystem, especially with the iPhones or the iPads, like there's only one player to go to.
I think it's also, but it's needed though. Like this 30% idea, especially on like microtransactions.
Oh yeah.
Because if there's a lot of businesses out there where they're either running like really thin margins, and so 30% is a big deal to their business, or they're just like doing something where it's like, I want a different color hat. And it's like, a Roblox purchase where I'm buying something for my kids for 99 cents.
Yeah.
And you're telling me that now that independent developer that put that together is not getting that money. Apple's taking 30% of that to flip one bit that says they get to wear the purple hat now.
Yeah, that's
like it's
crazy.
ridiculous.
That's crazy.
They get paid on all that shit.
Yeah.
So I don't know. There's no perfect answer here because obviously they have to make money as well.
Yeah.
So
it's not a charity.
Fun to watch.
Interesting. All right, people. Whoa, that was really fun.
Yes.
I'm hopped up on coffee.
Yes.
I now have to pee
Yes.
again because of coffee and water.
Why don't we ever have to pee when we're drinking?
Alcohol just absorbs into your system.
That's right.
Yeah, it comes out of your pores when you're with sugars.
It was a fun episode though. I can't believe we did. It was our first sober episode in
Years.
probably forever.
Yeah, not forever, but years.
Yeah, years.
Well, that is it for this week's edition of Diggnation. Please, super excited that Jayci Hayes got to come in and say hi.
I'm glad I'm on your first sober episode.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Wasn't
it made
interesting.
sense.
It makes a lot of
it doesn't make any
Makes
sense.
so much sense.
Yeah.
I get it now.
Love it. Hopefully we will see you soon. We got to talk about the shooting next time because I saw that the date changed.
Should we pull up our calendars?
No, not yet.
Okay.
Hey, we'll see you soon. Love you guys. Bye.